You know, going back to Lyrics and you, because you worked 25 years on the underground, and it's the agent for 20 years. So I would like, boy, don't make me see your gold watches, you know.
No, I didn't get a gold watch, but I'm getting a nice pension right now.
Better than the watch.
Yeah, I don't get a gold watch.
Well, right, you come back now to the music side of it, right? Lead you into the music, because when did you really say, you know what, music is my way of entertaining, music is what I want to express myself? The
music thing actually come from home still, because as a youth in my little district there, as you know, what we used to do, the big people them used to have a song. You remember a song called Phoenix?
Yeah. No,
right. Now, when Phoenix used to play at St. Thomas, as youths, we couldn't go into the land, but my uncle used to just pass me little red stripe beer and outside of me there at the fence and listen to the thing. At them times it was scat and rocksteady.
Fence a little way and peeping
and you know, so when I left Jamaica and come over here, for a while, I wasn't hearing that kind of music because my parents, they were strictly Christian. So I tell you, say, me only come here with Jim Reeves and so I'm on your Raw Acuff and
Pat Boone and
all them things there. That's all I could hear. I couldn't hear no Bob Marley, I couldn't hear no Peter Tosh. As with Legs, her parents was more conservative because they would allow her and they would play the Ken Booth and all them stuff. But them things that I don't hear them things in my yard because right now they have a thing called Secret Record. That's what they used to call it them. Them call it Secret Records. And them things that was me. And them things, anyhow me sneaking a music inside of that now, me have got sneak it in when I'm going to church.
Okay.
You know, see it. And that happen too often because I have got to church too. You know, see it. So the sneaking of the thing never really happened until when I decided that the church thing wasn't for me and I could stop.
So then you're breaking actually to the music
so
part of it.
1967 is where I collected 69 actually is where I collected my first reggae music. But it's not really reggae music, it was like rocksteady because that was Uri, I think a tune called Love I Bring.
Okay.
And the B side and it's like it's a blank. But on the other side is like a rock set, like a scale tune. But that side is Love I Bring is actually a tune with Uri and Slim Smith.
Right.
That was and that was where I get the bug. I have a friend, his mother used to go along all over the world and deal with coffee for Jamaica. So she went to America and she bring back a soul tune for me, right? But somehow the soul tune wasn't my thing still, even though the soul tune bad. I can't find it now, but I can't find the reggae one. I can't find it. Yeah, but it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. My thing really and truly is reggae music. Is like Scally Rocksteady and you know what I mean, eventually when it come into reggae music, that was my thing. So I started collecting from then and even though I'm still a collect.
Right.
You know, see it.
But tell me about like the famous Jamaican artists that you actually had experience with over the, you know.
Yeah, well over the years, especially I've come across Big Youth. I come across Freddie McGregor, I come across B.B. Seaton, I come across Marcia Griffith, I come across Glenn Washington, I come across Pat Kelly, I come across
Mighty Diamonds.
Yeah man, Ken Booth, Mighty Diamonds, because actually the Mighty Diamonds came to my 50th birthday. Yeah man, I was on RGR at the time.
Right. And
they came to that. Also Dennis Walks, who sing Margaret. He was also there.
And I've got to cut into you, but because you yourself, and it is sneaking, you're a little bit of artist yourself.
Well, I try like a thing now and again. I try like a thing.
No,
but
like
you see with me with the singing thing, right? Because it's not something that I what would I say? I rely on for my daily bread. It's something that I do if I'm asked, right? It's not something that you know, other man will say, boy, I sing because that's the only thing can bring me something. That wasn't my thing because, as I was saying to you before, all of my family sings. All of them, everybody, even the one that just born when she ready to sing. You know what I mean? So I'm coming from that thing, but my background, my basic background is Christianity. No, right. my parents them Christianity. That's what I come out of, see?
And from the Christianity, how many brothers and sisters Because family, I think you have
10 bridges.
And of the 10 of them, how many turn out to be like radio presenters or
Only
DJ?
myself. Only myself. Only myself. No one else. But there's also one of my brother. I'm 10 years older than him, and he is, well, I could have called him a preacher man still. But he wants to do a program here, and I'm just waiting for him to get himself together and get him on the thing, because he's actually going to college for that, for what he's doing. But he's also he works for Bt, which is telecom. But he's a contracts manager, so he don't really go to work. He work mainly from home. Now and again, them will send him to France or them send him to Scotland or something like that. But he started from the vans, and they bring him way up, all the way up to.
So what would his purpose?
He will be doing some gospel thing, because he's a Christian.
Right.
I must be the only one who, as they said, when the family was early.
Yeah. So
but I choose my way. I choose Rastafari every time. You know, see, it's because I couldn't deal with certain things that they were dealing with. Even though, if you really check it out, His Majesty is a Christian. Yeah, the Majesty was a Christian.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
And the music is part of.
The music is a part of. Yeah,
Yeah. Now come to actually you as a radio presenter and a DJ.
Well, that happened when I come across a friend of mine called Little Lion. He's no longer around. He passed away about 6-7 years ago. Now, Little Lion was working on Unique at that time, right? And because he knows that I'm a man who has the music and deal with the music, he called me in and said, "Yo, Kung Fu, I think you want to join me, because when my music run out, your music can't run out, because you are dealing with the thing from a longer time." Because I bought my first Studio One music from Daddy Pickens down the Askey Road. I bought my first Studio One. It reached the stage that when I used to go and buy my music, and when I walk in the shop, Daddy Pickens said, "No, come for me now, no more music, you buy everything out, I have music, but you have it already," so you know what I mean? Yeah. I used to have to go to the bookie and take out Mr. Pickens and bring him to the shop. And we sit down the more time, and we just talk, because there was no music for me to buy, because I have everything we have.
Were you playing? Sorry, what were you playing out at that time?
At that time, no, I wasn't playing out, but I had a sound system.
What was your sound?
A sound system called Duke Everett.
All right.
Right. Mainly a NW10, music sound system. Never really did show any prominence. It's all about, the reason for that is because I was doing it by myself. Not knowingly that's what was happening, because I had something like 3 persons with me, but they were just thieving me. Yeah, man, I tell you shit. See, because I used to go home. I used to go home on a regular basis and buy my music. Cause they used to have a little box with 25 coming at.
Yeah.
The 7-inch 25 coming at that time. I used to go and get my box on a regular basis back home in Jamaica and come over with that. But not knowing that what the guys were doing, they're taking one from this box, taking one from that box, make up them one box, and next thing you know, music gone.
Right.
And after about 10 years doing that, I just decided that something. I'm gonna just pack this in. So what I did was, I know the guys that are getting their playouts. So what they at one Saturday, when just Friday night, I just decided I had enough. So I called a friend who was bothering me to buy the set off me, and I said, something, yeah, buy the set. He said, "What about the music?" I said, "What? My music, Virgin? No, man, you have to go buy your own music." He just said, you can have the set, but you're not going to have my music.
Okay.
See, so this Saturday now, when the guys come do the play out, them come and I say, "Oh, them come to play out." So I say, "Oh, you come play out for what?" And so I said, "No, man, I sell the sound system, me alone I work at that, and all I do is feed me." So I say, "Yeah, man, I know that, because I realize, I check out my thing, them, so some of them gone, and I want to take them, it's just me own and the thing, and so that's all the sound system actually. Yeah.
Actually.
Went it
and then from that you decided then now it's my time. You have the music, and the music in your blood. The music in the blood, because from the family side is the Christian side of still music, but your side is the reggae music. So you decided you're gonna continue the road.
Before even that, what I was doing at that point, because the guys a lot of the guys knew me. And the guys they're all DJs, and so what I used to do, them use cast of music come let me. And we used to come in the studio with them, give them the music, when they finish playing, we go on with it and you know and things like that. But I'm never really interested in getting fame for that still.
Yeah.
But we reached the stage now then, I come up against a few people, and at the time there's a station going by the name of Street FM.
Red familiar.
Yeah, with them time DJ P, Lady D, Bushman, Father Dan, Uncle Dan, yeah, all of them managed up on a station there, right? So that was the first station I went on. And from there, so I leave that station and I went on to Irie FM.
Right.
That was at Jubilee Club, right? That's where I run into Little Lion.
Okay.
Right? Because that time you can't, because even though I was on them stations, right, it's not all the time I talk because I usually the person will select.
Okay.
And you have a DJ that's making nice and I just select, you know. But Little Lion decided that you know, no, it's time for you to select and talk as well as me. But even though when I was Little Lion never get a chance to talk. Little Lion is a talker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him talk, oh gosh man, Little Lion talk your head off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it reached this stage down that Irie FM folded and it turned into something else. That time I run across Mickey D.
Okay.
Yeah, I ran across Mickey D at that time. And the guy who actually running Street FM at the moment. Yeah, I ran across those two guys. And they were saying to me that they have a project that they were doing and they want me to come and get involved in it. And yeah, that's how the thing going. And after that, then I was on Unique, RGR, Pt3 for 8 years, right? The oldest, and then another station where I'm not going to mention them name because there's too much silliness went on with that station. That's why I'm actually doing what I'm doing.
Excluding that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm going to exclude that one. I'm not going to even mention the name, see? But yeah, nearly all of the stations around in the area, I was on at one point or another, either as a selector or an announcer, you know.
That lead you to actually building up a majestic radio station. But even before that, I would like to go into something more even interesting than that. Is like you
Okay, Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Well, that is something that I started in 1972. I started Taekwondo in 1972, and how that come about? I went to the cinema. We had a few friends over. Went to the cinema to see a movie called King Boxer.
Right.
You know the movie King Boxer, right? Went and see the movie called King Boxer. That was still 1972, 71, 72. And after we come out of the movie, it's like say we see this little old man a jump all over a wall and all them things. You know what I mean? And after that we come out of that, we just start doing kicking and punching. You know, as youths,
Yeah.
you know them things. So after that, now we saw a leaflet being handed around in the vicinity with some Chinaman. I said, well, boy, they weren't even Chinese; they were Koreans.
Yeah.
So, well, boy, they're setting up something, and you know they're looking for some of the youngsters in the vicinity to join. And that's I get involved with Taekwondo. I get involved.
Yes, and you kind of build up a kind of master around that.
Yeah, well, I am black belt, first dan, and I also teach. I'm not at the moment. Since I set the station up, I've not really gone to the club and doing the teaching. But that's where I was doing. I was doing teaching down at the pavilion. And the Stonebridge Pavilion, where they have the football and all that something. That's where I teach. And that is something that because I actually